Hi everyone, my name is Michael. I'm a bronze sculptor from Northwestern Connecticut. I want to first and foremost thank the folks at the Wadsworth Museum for very kindly inviting me to share my work, my sculptures, my artistic journey. What's really nice is I get to share my work at this very same time. The artwork of Paul Manship is on display now at the museum. He is an artist I admire greatly and one of my biggest inspirations in all of art history. When I was a young artist in art school, I wanted to be a portrait artist, a sculptor who specialized in creating likenesses of interesting and famous people. Here are two of my early sculpture portraits called busts. In this wonderfully modern world, everyone's life seems so busy and complex. Like so many artists that I know, it took me sometimes some years to truly navigate, truly find my artistic voice, to finally be able to create those things that had special meaning to me and those I wanted to share my work with. For me, I found the most interesting things I wanted to make were animals and plants I found in nature, especially those I found walking or hiking in the woods. On my walks, I sometimes find and collect real branches and cast them into bronze to include as objects in my sculptures. I especially like those opportunities when I can include large, interesting rocks in my sculptures. Some of these large stones can weigh 10,000 pounds and need heavy equipment like cranes to move them. They are not simply pedestals for these objects I make, they symbolize our bond to the earth. I consider all these found objects I collect as precious gifts, the acorns, the branches, the apples, always encouraging me to take a minute, to pause, to look, to listen to those things around me. It inspires me to express my quiet jubilation about the miracle of existence. How many bedtime stories can we recall where animal characters teach us about life's many pitfalls and all the best virtues we can aspire to? Integrity, honesty, authenticity, kindness, sharing, being protective. For me, every sculpture I create is a brand new act of discovery. Sometimes, instead of eating the vegetables I grow from my garden, I make sculptures from them. Some of the largest sculptures I have created over the years needed to be reviewed by structural engineers before they could be created. I work primarily in a metal called bronze. It is very heavy and has been a favorite metal of artists for over 2,000 years. The bronze I use gets heated up in a special melting pot called a crucible. This crucible that you see here today can hold up to 90 pounds. The melting temperature of bronze is very, very high. It's 2,100 degrees, 2,100 degrees. Because it is so hot, we have to wear special protective suits to keep us safe from the heat while we pour the metal. Some sculptures are made from over 100 separate pieces. All these pieces are welded together piece by piece, inch by inch. The sculptures I make, I never try to compete with the surroundings. There are many, many different kinds of tools used for polishing bronze. Here I'm using an air tool called the die grinder. Very often I'm inspired by books and poems about nature too, especially Japanese poems called haikus. I'm especially fond of creating families of animals. There are many different kinds of animal behavior. Scientists call this behavior ethology. Simply, I just like to share how the birds sing and why the grasshoppers chirp. Park projects are my favorite place to install my sculptures. I especially like when my sculptures are interesting to touch. There is enough artwork, in my opinion, behind glass windows and rope barricades. I like my pieces to be touchable. I never know when one of my works is actually finished. I always like to think that I try to stop in a good spot, a good place. It's fun to look back and observe all the many steps it took from beginning to end when I make a sculpture. Some sculptures take a whole year to create. All these years that have passed, I've come to realize that nature has become my sanctuary. There is an old Chinese proverb that reads, "Keep a green tree in your heart and perhaps a singing bird will come." I hope you might think about creating a drawing, a painting, a sculpture today of your favorite bug, bird, animal, or plant that might be found in your own backyards. Thank you very much.